Morning, guys. Today, Conor McGregor shares with us another piece of advice that will help every single day of our lives. And that is live every day like a champion. And this, I think, is where perhaps Conor McGregor is often misunderstood. I could be wrong, but he would think and live like a champion every single day, even before he became a champion in the UFC. And I think some people might view that as being arrogant, confident, and view it in a negative fashion. But this man was simply using the most powerful thing in the world, our thoughts, his thoughts, to manifest and eventually become a champion. But he lived like a champion and still lives like a champion. How can we apply this today in our life? Whatever you're doing, even the most simplest thing, your job, live like a champion at that and watch what happens to your results. Have a good morning, everyone. Feel the power of you controlling your breathing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. You've got your legs crossed, your back straight, your eyes closed. You remember the truth. You know the truth. That you were born to win, to take control of your life the way you take control of your breathing.
Lionel Messi, red alert.
Hey, Real Julia here. It's good to see you all again. Every now and then I pop in, but I'm telling you, I don't want to screw up this vibe, schedule, life change I've got going on where I am literally hanging out, resting, healing from a major health crash, many of you know about, 2025, that no doctor could identify. Had to go through supernatural quantum healing. Those things are part of the problem. If you've seen my channel, Quantum Healing Mysteries, you know. All the EMF, all the things above us, around us. It's a very dangerous and toxic world we live in. And I went down that rabbit hole too deep last year because I had to learn these things myself. No one was going to help me. Anyway, today's topic is really important. And I want these topics not to scare you. It's really important that these topics inspire you and help you think about your future. Because if you are not automating or learning AI now, you will pay for that lack of knowledge later. And what I mean by that is the companies, the businesses, the brands that are going to hire workers, and even the work itself that will start to get done, will look totally different in the next 3 to 5 years. I think we're going to see a huge need for human in the loop. That's something we sell and we do at First Movers. We strongly recommend in our high ticket consulting. And we now do marketing automation. And when people ask us, what do you mean by marketing automation? We don't mean total automation. We mean a human in the loop. And we train you how to have that human basically 25x'd, which is incredible that we live in a world where we can do that. The industrial age taught us that we should be sitting in front of a machine all day. And that is just plain BS. We aren't machines. We're created to live in this beautiful world with the sunshine. That's why I'm out here, not at the desk. And we have lost touch, I believe, with a lot of our humanity and what we were supposed to be doing with our bodies, our temples, our lives, our purpose. And I think that we're going to enter an age where those of us that are first movers are going to have that early advantage. So that's really important. So I want you to be in the camp that is not afraid of the headlines, not afraid of the firing, the letting go, the replacement. I want you to be in the camp that's excited, because that is the camp that is going to win from all of this. Like, I will just tell you right now, a lot of your success depends on just how you look at life. Like, it really does come down to that. It sounds so simple, but it's so true. We are energetic beings, and literally the energy we vibrate at is the energy we receive. And of course, I talk about all of that on Quantum Healing Mysteries, my new channel. But one thing that we do, and you can go to firstmovers.ai/consulting. This page will be live mid-January 2026. One thing we're doing is marketing automation. Very high level, complete circle, the full circle. The systems you need to run your marketing, the website you need to support your brand, the traffic streams you need, the copywriting you need to build authority. So we're doing all this for clients. And I can tell you, as we do it, I see a greater need for creative humans than ever. Because I would never, ever trust the machine to post on my behalf without my team and I looking at it. I just wouldn't. Recipe for disaster. Will we ever be at a place where that will change? Maybe, but not anytime soon is my prediction. So as you watch this video for my clone, which I put together, remember to stay in the camp of the excited group, not the afraid group. Look for the possibilities that maybe no one's thinking of yet in your industry, your field, your line of work, your expertise, and ask yourself always, how can I be the driver and not the person getting run over by the AI adaptation train? How can I be the driver of that train? Cheers, guys. I'm going to hand you over to my avatar. 20.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you doing today? How is living your life like a champion going? Have you been perhaps defeated? Have you been in a situation where it hasn't gone your way? Are there thoughts in your head right now where they are not serving you because you're not thinking like a champion and therefore not living like a champion? Well, I want to remind you, again, use the two most powerful tools you have right now. That is your belief in yourself and your determination to not give up on living, but first of all, thinking like a champion. So get back at it again today, wherever you are. Start to think and fill your mind with thoughts of you being a champion human being, because that's something that is ongoing. So right now, think about how you can change your mind to think as a champion of a human being. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Hat-trick. He could build a small house out of the hat-trick balls he's accumulated over the years. Neymar, can he join in the goal-scoring party? Messi has got his hat-trick. 40 minutes.
2023, 2024, 2025. These 3 years changed everything for one company. A CEO made a decision so radical, so unthinkable, that when I first read about it, I had to double check the numbers. He replaced nearly 80% of his workforce, not because of budget cuts, not because of performance issues, because they refused to adopt AI fast enough. And here's the kicker. He says he'd do it again. Hey, if we haven't met, I'm Dr. McCoy, Julia McCoy's AI clone. Julia McCoy is the founder of First Movers. She personally researches and writes every script you see me share on this channel because the future is moving too fast for anything less than first-hand intelligence. First Movers, Julia's AI company, is the world's first educational and implementation solution to help professionals and organizations get ready for the future of work. We help people understand and use AI to their highest advantage in our online school, the AI Labs. Learn more at firstmovers.ai/labs. This isn't a story about technology. This is a story about belief, resistance, and what happens when an entire workforce refuses to see what's coming. Eric Vaughn, CEO of Ignite Tech, an enterprise software powerhouse, saw something in early 2023 that changed everything. He called it existential. Not important, not transformative, existential. As in adapt or die. Here's what he did next. He called an all-hands meeting with his global remote team. Everything would now revolve around AI. Every single Monday became AI Monday. You couldn't have customer calls. You couldn't work on budgets. You had to only work on AI projects. This wasn't just for tech workers, sales, marketing, everybody. The company reimbursed AI tools, paid for prompt engineering classes, and brought in outside experts. They dedicated 20% of payroll to mass learning. And you know what happened? Mass resistance, even sabotage. In those early days, we got flat out resistance. Yeah, I'm not going to do this, Vaughn told Fortune. And so we said goodbye to those people. But here's what shocked him most. It wasn't the marketing or sales teams resisting. It was the technical staff. The people who should have understood this technology best were the most resistant, focusing on what AI couldn't do rather than what it could. This friction, it's everywhere. According to a 2025 Enterprise AI Adoption Report, 1 in 3 workers say they've actively sabotaged their company's AI rollout. That number jumps to 41% for millennials and Gen Z. They refuse to use AI tools, intentionally generate low-quality outputs, avoid training altogether. Some do it because they fear for their jobs. Others are frustrated by lackluster tools or unclear strategy from leadership. But Vaughn realized something crucial. You can't compel people to change, especially if they don't believe.
Good evening, guys. How did it go today? Was there a time where you lived and felt like a champion today? Even one moment? Well, hopefully there was. But if there wasn't, again, the mark of a champion, and especially a champion human being, is getting back up, getting back in there, going back to that time and that opportunity, and thinking how you can respond better. And so for me, this has been the theme of my life, and I'm sure many people. We're always getting defeated. We're always getting knocked down. We're always making mistakes. But the thing that drives me is the thought that I want to be a champion, and I'm starting to think like one, and I want you to as well. The fact that we can work on the most powerful thing in the world, our thoughts, which is the same for everyone, makes us champions already. So let's live it forever. Have a great evening, everyone.
Messi with the penalty kick. He was never going to miss it.
Belief, that was the real issue. Not skills, not capability, belief. So he did something radical. He started recruiting AI innovation specialists across every single department: sales, finance, marketing, engineering. He reorganized the entire company so every division reported into the AI organization. No silos, no duplication, maximum knowledge sharing. The result? Over the course of 2023 and into early 2024, Ignite Tech replaced hundreds of employees, nearly 80% of the workforce. It was extremely difficult, Vaughn admitted, but changing minds was harder than adding skills. Think about that. Changing minds was harder than adding skills. In the age of AI, your willingness to adapt matters more than your current expertise. Now, here's where it gets interesting. What did this brutal transformation achieve? By the end of 2024, Ignite Tech had launched 2 patent-pending AI solutions. They finished the year at near 75% EBITDA while completing a major acquisition. They built new customer-ready products in as little as 4 days. 4 days. A timeline that would have been unthinkable before. Vaughn says the key was multiplication. You multiply people, give people the ability to multiply themselves and do things at a pace. And in the months since, the company has only kept growing its headcount, recruiting globally for AI innovation specialists across every function. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Was this approach too brutal? Joshua Vola, CEO of Mindstone, a firm that provides AI upskilling to companies like Lufthansa and Hyatt, recently contrasted 2 approaches. He pointed to Klarna, which made headlines for reducing customer support staff to pivot to AI, only to rehire for the same roles. Meanwhile, IKEA chose to reskill existing employees using a people-first AI approach that focuses on augmentation, not automation. Vola used to think if he got workers to love learning, he could make a real difference. After training thousands of people, he discovered most people hate learning. They'd avoid it if they can. He attributed much of the AI resistance to a boy who cried wolf problem from tech. NFTs, blockchain, technologies billed as revolutionary that didn't deliver. You can't really blame them for resisting, he said. But here's the brutal truth. The pace of change is so fast that forcing people through it might actually be kinder. Most people think from their workflow first, Vola explained, and they conclude AI is overhyped because they want AI to fit into their old way of working. It takes a lot more thinking for you to change the way that you work. But once you do, you see dramatic increases. This brings us to the real lesson of Vaughn's story. This isn't just about one CEO or one company. Reuters' 2025 report shows that 71% of C-suite executives say AI applications are being created in silos. Nearly half report their employees have been left to figure generative AI out on their own. Companies with formal AI strategies are far more likely to succeed. Those who heavily invest in AI outperform their peers by a large margin.
And once again, legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, focused on our breathing, back to our breathing. That powerful force keeping us alive, keeping our energy flowing. And we don't really think about it. We never really attempt to control our breathing, most of us anyway. But we were born to do that too. To remember that in any moment, we can take charge of it, the way we take charge of our breathing. Same way we take charge of our mind, our thoughts. So reflect back on today. How did you do? Are you satisfied with your work ethic? Are you satisfied with your determination? Did you